Hi, welcome to the Inspire View series. My name is Cherrise Boucher of CherriseBoucher.com, and I'm a transformational life mentor. A little bit about this series. I felt really inspired to put it together because I feel that it's so massively important for every single person out there to incorporate something they're passionate about into their lives. And when you weave something into your life that lights you up and excites you, your soul really thanks you for listening. Stress is reduced, relationships improve, you see overall improvements in your well-being. The inspiring people that I'm going to introduce to you in this series are just like you. They've overcome obstacles, they've experienced life in all its aspects, and they've incorporated their passions into their lives. They're going to share some insights with you that have worked for them and some tips and tricks, and I think you'll find everything that is really inspirational, motivational, and I hope you incorporate it into your life. So I am super glad and excited and honored that you are joining us on this journey to nurture the spark that feeds the fire of your passion. Today, I am excited to introduce you to a passionate, world-renowned psychic and speaker. She is a powerhouse metaphysician, spiritual empowerment mentor, Reiki master, shamanic practitioner, I can say that, and realm reader. Her mission is to serve God and all mankind by being strong and courageous in the face of adversity and by being passionate about her beliefs. She recognizes the value in nurturing the playfulness of spirit as she inspires others to see the beauty in all things and to realize their full potential. This beautiful soul specializes in guiding others to loving themselves through spirit. So I'm honored to introduce you to Julie Lynn. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Cherrise. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited this is finally happening.
I know, me too. It's all divine timing.
That's right. That's what we're saying, and we're sticking to that.
We perfectly put this in place.
Or you know, it's that fire you got to put under your ass to get going.
That too.
That too.
I'm not gonna lie. I had a lot going on, and finally was like, "Dang, girl, let's get it done."
I know, when life happens, you know, it happens to all of us. That's for sure.
For all the listeners out there, you can know that life really happens for us too, and procrastination happens to be one of my things I've constantly overcoming.
Yeah. Hey, I wrote a blog post on that. I am constantly living with it. I live with procrastination too, and I'm revisiting it from the other side now because I'm a mom, and I used to do it really, really bad when I was younger, and now I can feel and fully experience my mother's frustration with me because my daughter does the same thing and my son does the same thing, and I'm like, oh, why are you waiting till the last minute if you plan ahead? And I'm like, oh, I sound like my mother.
I know, but it does give you an appreciation to, one, what your mother went through, and two, the awareness that we all have that. So we're human.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you want to talk about one of your favorite topics, and that's self-love. So how have you really grown into and become passionate about this topic?
Well, for one, it's something that I had to overcome and learn. You know, ever since I was younger, I was always seeking approval from whomever, wherever. I never felt good enough unless I had a ton of friends. I was a people pleaser. I just wanted people to like me. I wanted people to be happy, to be around me, and I put myself to the side so that I could do that for other people. And as we know, as we get older, when we don't take care of ourselves and our inner selves, and we're looking for other people and other things in life to make us happy, we will consistently be disappointed every time. So this was a huge thing that I've had to learn. It's a huge thing that I've overcome, and I think that that's where my passion drives it so much, because I don't ever want anybody to feel what I've felt. And if people do feel how I have felt in the past, I would just my heart opens up so completely to them, and I just want to reach out and like instantly heal them and make them see how truly wonderful they are. without any of that garbage that we so yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a big key to moving forward in a lot of areas in your life too. Self-love has to really be kind of a basis foundation to take other steps.
Yep, absolutely it does. Because if we don't love ourselves, we find ourselves stuck in judgment, stuck in expectation. And, you know, when people aware that when you're judging other people, it's because of something that you judge yourself for. It's because of a trait you don't love about yourself. And so you're actually putting judgment on somebody else because you put that judgment on yourself. So it's really erasing the judgment about yourself so that you can let the other person be who they are without that.
Right. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Were you going?
Nope.
The guy interrupted.
You go ahead. That's what you got to love about being live.
Yeah, live.
For those of you that don't know, Cherrise and I were joking about the fact that we were going live, which makes us famous. Just to giggle a bit.
Yeah,
we have really good energy flowing right now. So
yeah, we do. We put our famous hats on. I should have that little app active, you know, where you could put a hat on.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be great. That would be.
Oh my goodness. So reeling it back into the topic.
Okay.
So you talk about loving yourself through spirit. Can you explain what you mean by that and why that's essential?
Well, loving yourself through spirit is loving yourself in a non-selfish way. It's about self-care. It's not about narcissistic behaviors. It's not about selfish behaviors. It's coming from a place of knowing that you must take care of yourself and love yourself so that you're actually able to love other people better and in a way that it doesn't deplete, because you're filling your heart up with the divine love in itself. And when you can do that and then you can let it overflow, you have all of this overflow that goes to everybody everywhere. And sending divine love out to everybody everywhere is such an amazing energetic connection that everybody needs, but yet you're not depleting yourself from your own self-love. So it's really important to tap into your inner self and find out what your needs are. Your needs are important, and you don't need to push yourself aside in order to make somebody else happy, because what you're doing then is you're telling the universe and you're telling spirit that you don't think you're good enough to stand in your ground and do what you need to do to love yourself.
Right. So, oops, kicking my table. How, like a lot of people probably, I mean, I think we've all, or most people at least, experience kind of a stuck and low point in their life where what you're saying may sound fantastic, you know, in somebody else's world, but not theirs. So how would you guide somebody into starting to love themselves?
Well, this is something that I had to really learn, you know, in a spot of real grief. You know, my brother died almost 8 years ago, and that was such a traumatic event for me. I thought I was literally walking numb through life, and I had to really just appreciate the small steps towards healing, because you're not going to reach your end result just like that. You know, it's going to take worse. I went through a huge divorce, and, you know, my self-worth was really brought down to nothing. So some of the things that I have done is I always spend time in the morning, even if it's 2 to 3 minutes before I get out of waking up, to just be quiet with myself, be quiet with how I'm feeling, because the moment you step out of the bed is the moment like your world is going to happen for the day. So to take those moments right in the morning before you get out of bed and make an intention for the day, calm your energy down, take a deep breath and make a clear intention. And what I think is very prominent in doing, and I've done this, and this is what I teach, is every day ask, what can I do to love myself today? And that is so powerful, because it doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be something small. Is I want to go for a walk today. I want to get a pedicure today. I want to just sit quietly today and read a book. I want to, you know, take a yoga class. I want to go work out. It just something every day to love yourself that has nothing to do with anybody. And that's it's a huge affirmation and showing the universe that you are ready to love yourself, as simple and as hard as it seems and want.
I was actually just talking to somebody I work with about something similar to that this morning, actually.
Imagine that.
Yeah. And she was saying how she wishes this kind of sounds bad. She wishes she still smoked so she could go get that break.
Oh my goodness. And a lot of people that smoke, that's what they love to smoke for during the workday. Is they just
right. Well, and it's even at home because her elderly mother lives with her. So she's got a lot on her plate, like at all times. So I told her, you know, I said, well, just pretend like you do smoke. I said, but substitute it with something else, like bring a book or a magazine, or if there's an article, you know, that you like to read, a newspaper, something for like 15 minutes, and just go somewhere, you know, in the garage or wherever it is that you used to smoke, maybe, or someplace different if you want to kind of break that habit or the thought that you want a cigarette, but and do the same thing. Just take a 15-minute break.
I would take my break and I would find step. You know?
Yep.
So another thing that I think is really important to do is you have to allow yourself to be human, because you got pressure on yourself. You know, it really is. Loving ourselves to some people does not come naturally. It's very awkward feeling. It's sort of like, oh, how can I explain it? It's like a dark tunnel that you don't ever want to go through. And I always do this too, and I think it's, you know, I learned this from Louise Hay. I think it's really important, you know, saying I love myself in the mirror and looking directly into your eyes, because when you can look directly into your eyes, you're looking into your soul, and there is no powerful way, nothing more powerful than to look into your eyes and into your soul and affirm how much you love yourself. And it might feel awkward at first, but trust me, you do it over and over and over, multiple times a day. You know, every time you see your reflection in a mirror, or, you know, in the rear view mirror while you're driving your car, or whatever it may be, just affirm. You know, I would always say, I love you, Julie. I really, really love you, Julie. And yeah, it felt really awkward. I mean, it felt intensely awkward, where I'm like, right. But the more I said it, and the more I said it, the more it got into my cells, it got into my DNA, and the more I truly believed it. It's just, it may seem so simple, but it's so powerful. And to give yourself grace and compassion. And you don't want to be like anybody else, everybody else anyway. That's boring, you know? That'll get you to everybody else. You don't want to go there. I like to live a little bit crazy, you know? You know, it's about just being more playful in life too, you know? I always right away in the morning too, I ask for my divine team to be present with my divine team. I affirm I'm always connected to my highest self. I ask my spirit guides, my angelic realm, my guardian angels, you know, whatever I'm in tune to asking for that day. It could be your ascended master, your goddesses, you know, any unseen energies in the universe. Have them be present with you to let you know what you need to know. And whenever you're having that, you think to yourself, because if you don't love yourself, it's based on a fear that you have that stemmed from some place in your life that needs to heal. So be bringing that awareness and journaling about it, writing it down so that you can be in tune with where it's stemming from. And even if you can't be in tune to where it's stemming from, just writing out how you feel, you know, is a very powerful technique. I think you would agree on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a big writer. Like a friend of mine is a writer and has journaled like her whole life. And I brought up a little something to her that I said, well, I feel weird about, like, I don't want to write stuff because I don't want anybody to read it. So I don't want to leave journals laying around or something. And she's like, I never even thought of that. I'm like, I've got like a block about journaling or something. But yep. Every now and then I do it. But it's definitely, I don't want people to know my innermost workings, I guess, kind of a thing. That if I die tomorrow, I don't want them reading my stuff, you know?
Right. And that's putting your guard up. That's not being vulnerable and true to who you are. So that might be something that you have to work towards. The other thing I do suggest for people, because it's very powerful to get it out of your body. So write it out. And if you have this fear that somebody might read it, burn it.
Yeah.
Burn it and send it to the universe, because it's really important to do the simple things to kind of get you to the place of serenity and peace. So really when I look at really how to start to love yourself, it's just really, you begin by embracing where you're at. Yourself for it, not beating yourself up for it. And, you know, if you're having a feeling, stop pushing that feeling away. A lot of people, and I think most people, instead of being present with them, because when you push away your feelings, let's say you're feeling sad or angry or hurt, right? And you don't want anybody else to push that away. However, the more you push it away, it's going to flip and come back to you like I just wanted to swear there, but I didn't. A boomerang. It's a boomerang's just going to keep hitting you back in the face and hitting you back in the face, and you're going to keep experiencing it. So I really teach my clients, I'm like, well, let's sit with how you're feeling for a little bit. Where is that pain in your body? Where is this stemming from? Let's feel it. Let's breathe into it. Let's make it bigger. And a lot of people are like, what? I'm like, yeah, let's make it bigger. Let's let it grow. Let's let it grow. Because when you can let it grow and be present with it, you allow it to change and to transform. So the thing about it is to not get obsessive about how you're feeling. To not energy, because that's what's going to bring more negative energy to you and more negative thoughts to you. But just being aware, I feel sad today. Okay, so, or like somebody does something, well, that really kind of ticked me off or whatever. But, and just letting it go out in your head, because that's just going to make it 100 times worse and make you feel worse. That person that made you mad or sad or whatever, they're going about their day. So you ruminating on it is just you putting that into your DNA and your cells, and it's making it harder for you to love yourself.
Right. So acknowledgement and accepting.
Yeah. Yep. And then I would say the next thing I would do is actually really, and I know a lot of these things that people have heard time and time again, but really forgiving yourself. I encourage my clients to write forgiveness letters to themselves and burn it, and write down everything you wish you could have done better, should have done better, how you feel. Everything that happened was for your divine purpose, but we as humans, we tend to think we should have done better. We could have done better. If only I wouldn't have reacted that way. If only I would have just had the house clean before my husband got home, or vice versa, if only before my wife had to attack me for it or criticize me for it. So just write your forgiveness letter, write it all out, forgive yourself for it, because you're human. And I don't ever consider it failure. To me, it's growth. You don't fail in this world, you grow. And you grow by allowing yourself to be human, to learning what you needed to learn and doing it better.
Yeah, you do. You have to pay attention, though. There's a lot of mindfulness that goes with all this, excuse me, as well, and recognizing everything. You know, it's really being mindful in the moment, because you really, I think, have to know how you're feeling, be in touch with those things, and that takes a little practice. I've found too. You know, before you just blah react. You know, to just breathe for a moment and think and pay attention to how it's feeling and how you really want to, what your next steps or thoughts, actions should be. And that's something that takes practice.
It does. And it doesn't, and if people have been reacting and kind of doing the victim role a lot, it's going to be really hard for them to change it. It's not impossible. And it just comes with baby steps. It doesn't have to be this traumatic thing, you know, but really it's about letting go and surrendering. And I will tell you that I laugh at this. There are some days where I'm letting go and surrendering every hour, maybe in this negative thought or energy. And it's like, God, I'm trying, let it go. I don't want it. It's yours. And you know, there are some times where I've thought to myself, God, Julie, you must be just a hypocrite. But then I listened to a talk from Gabrielle Bernstein, and this was very, very prominent for me. As she says, with all of the work that she's done in traveling people, she says, I still have to fight my ego off every day. Every day. And you will. You'll always have to fight your ego off. Then as you learn the tools to do that, it does become easier. It becomes a lot easier. Trust me. I was the queen of the victim role. I was the queen of not having any sense of self, self-worth, self-love. And I will tell you this. I truly believe, you know, we're all broken. We really are. All of life, you know, things that happen to us, we're broken. People are broken. I find beauty because you can look at all these broken pieces on the floor and you can choose to pick up the ones that you want. And you can let the other ones just go. And I think, so I always say there's beauty in being broken.
Yeah, because you can draw in those other pieces of the puzzle, you know, like that's the image that came to my head, like when you were saying pick up, you can choose which pieces to pick up. And then you can make a new picture out of those pieces you chose to pick up. You can draw in something that is much better.
Absolutely. I mean, your soul has limitless possibilities, abilities. Our human ego is what put limits on us. Our fears are what puts limits on us. The energetic connection that we have with our fears is actually what and keeps us down. And once we can remove that energetic connection by building a new energetic connection to something more positive and uplifting, and it's really about the people you surround yourself to. Are you surrounded with people that just complain all the time? Oh, God, it's so draining, you know? And then you find that you just join in and start complaining with them, right?
You do.
You just want to be part of it. I used to do that. I used to do that. Laugh about now, because now when somebody complains, I just like, excuse me for a moment. I'm really sorry, but I'm okay. Because usually there's more than one person in the group. I got to step away from that. I don't want to be around that. And I've gotten a lot better at letting a lot of people go in my life that bring me down. I welcome in new people that are amazing, you know, like you.
No, thanks.
I love my Cherrise.
Well, we've been in touch for a while. We'll be coming to a year. Well, it's been what, 9 or 10 months?
9 or 10 months, I think. Yeah.
So when good stuff.
Go ahead.
I'm just thinking about like silly things.
Oh my God, it is. But that's how quickly you can, that's a good example of us. It's how quickly you can manifest somebody positive in your life the minute you let go of somebody negative. So it's very strong and it's very real, and it does actually energetically change how you feel. So it's really, and it really comes to just having that balance of self-care. You really, it's really vital to take care of yourself. And I know people have heard that before, but many, many times before. But man, I come to thoroughly believe it. I used to always feel like I was being selfish. If I wanted to do something for me, I'd just go the crowd. I don't do it. It's not worth it. And if I put myself in a situation where I really don't want to be there, then my energy is not going to be right. And so I won't be good for any.
Yeah, you got stuck. You got stuck on the video for a second.
Well, I hope it was good.
Well, the good thing with this
that's what we call technology that we can't control. But we could blame it on Mercury retrograde.
For 2 more days. And then everybody's shit out of luck with that excuse.
Exactly. That's hysterical. I love it. I love it.
I swear. I mean, I just do. I try to tone it down, but it's me. So it is what it is. Oh my goodness.
And this is why I love you. You just bring it right back to reality.
Oh, well, you know, you have to, because
the blame game gets you nowhere.
Yeah, you're not being yourself. If you hide parts of you, then eventually it's going to come out, and then people are going to go, whoa, wait a minute. This isn't the same person, so you might as well just do it. No surprises.
No surprises. No. And, I really want to get out to your into, it's really just one of the most important things is to really embrace yourself in the present moment. That future thinking and that past thinking really only brings anxiety. If you bring it back to that present moment and being more mindful of what's going on and what you're creating in the now, so let's say you're stuck in traffic, you're stuck at this light that won't ever seem to change, and you're going, oh God, change. That's when you just go, thank you, God, for teaching me patience. Because you can't control the light. So thank you, God, for teaching me patience. Remember that loving yourself isn't something that comes naturally to a lot of people. And it really is about making a conscious effort every day. You have where it's a conscious effort every day. And it's just like if you're going to train like in the gym, a body part, you have to do it consistently. Because if you're all of a sudden going, well, I want to put some muscle on today. Well, it's just not going to happen in one day. You're going to have to train. You're going to have to train, and you're going to have to train. Well, your mind is the same way. If you've had one thought pattern for how many years of your life, you're going to have to make that conscious effort. And some days you're not going to want to do it. Some days you want to go back in that old thought pattern. And guess what? Don't do it. Just center yourself, ground yourself, and to realize that every day is going to look different. Your best in every day is going to look different. But if you show up and do the best that you can for the day, that's all you can ask of yourself. And you really just need to embrace that. I teach that to my kids. I think it's really important. If they do something like with sports or whatnot, that I just tell them, your best day isn't going to look the same every day.
That's true.
It's okay.
It's okay.
And it's okay.
It's okay. I know because people, I know people that beat themselves up, over things not going right, and it's like, you know, something maybe as simple as dropping something, you know, and beat themselves up over it. It's like, it's not a big deal. Just things happen, you know, don't.
I'll tell you,
apparently the spilled milk thing, you know?
Oh yeah, it is. It's like, don't cry over spilled milk, because it's not going to do any good. So I got to tell you a story. When Noah, my son, he's 10 now. When he was about 3, he kind of had like these bunch of puzzle pieces, and he dropped all the puzzle pieces on the floor, and he goes, "God damn it." And I just started laughing profusely, because I'm like, oh my God, he used that sentence so perfectly. But yeah, he was only 3. But inside I'm like, God, where did he learn that from? Days later, I did something and I said that, and I go, oh my goodness, he learned it from me. It was hysterical.
Oh. Okay. Well, this is going to be scene 1, act 2, since we had some technical difficulties, and we are now finishing this with a wardrobe change and everything. So
it's exciting.
It's exciting. Okay,
this
so
is what
we'll
we call
continue
go with
where
the
we
flow.
left off. That's right. 2 days later.
Exactly. I just really wanted to finish with just some closing remarks for everybody, is to always remember that you are a child of God, and it's within your birthright to bathe in divine love. It's what you were born with. So when we come to this earth, we are innately born with our gifts and through all of these shields around us. And for me, it's about kind of veiling those shields, ripping them away, like almost like an onion. You're just peeling the layers off to get to the core and the center of who you are. And at the core and the center of who you are is divine love. And so you don't have to feel selfish wanting to love yourself. You don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to feel shame. It's your birthright, and it's very important. The more you can love yourself, the more you have to give to others. And it's really working with spirit. And that's exactly how you work better with spirit, is by showing them how much you love themselves, because love yourselves, because then when you love yourself, they know that you can handle more.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you. I love it.
Okay. And now I'm trying to, like, I don't even remember. We were in a flow, and now it's like,
and it's like we're just trying to get to the end flow, but where does that end flow go?
I know. So I want to make sure that we have the opportunity here to share your free gift that you're offering for people who listen to the series. So go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about that, and I'll tell everybody where they can get that and sign up for it.
That sounds good. I'm offering a free 15-minute healing heart session. And basically what that is we're just going to connect. We're going to see possibly where some blocks are, and why the person at hand is not loving themselves, where their self-sabotage behaviors are. It's a very powerful session, and it'll help open your heart up more by discovering what's blocking it.
Ah, perfect.
It's very exciting.
Yes.
And it releases a lot. In that 15 minutes, a lot gets released. And, you know, people might think, well, 15 minutes, that's not going to help me. Well, actually, 15 minutes really can help you. It's going to give you a different perspective in an area of your life where you're blocking yourself from your greatness. And that's a powerful tool.
It really is, because you can jumpstart from there once you're made aware of that.
Yeah, awareness is key. Awareness is the beginning of your change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
awesome. So is there anything else? How about sharing something that maybe you do on a daily basis? You probably have said something, but what do you think is a key tip maybe? I know you did mention telling yourself that you staring in your eyes and saying, I love you.
Yep. And I do that. I do practice what I preach. But one thing I do, I really get in tune before I step out of bed. So even when I'm drowsy or whatever, I take a couple of minutes. I just ask for my energy to be cleansed and cleaned and balanced. I ask for all of my chakras to be balanced. So I start at the sacral chakra and I move downward toward the root chakra, coming back up through all the chakras, over my crown, back to my sacral. And I just envision it all working in this flowing balance. And it really helps me start my day on a better note. And every day I make a point to do something for me, to love myself. Doesn't matter how big or how small. You know, maybe I'm going to take some extra time to meditate. Maybe I'm going to journal today. Maybe I'm going to go for a walk today. Maybe I'm going to go have a killer workout today. Maybe 2 workouts. Whatever it is. I just really make a point every day to do something to love myself. And therefore, I tell the universe that I love myself enough for them to support me on my journey.
Sometimes I love myself with a cami cake.
And that's okay too.
Those are the
love yourself with a pedicure. Treat yourself to a latte. You know, whatever. Do something that you love.
Yeah, those are fantastic little
cupcakes. But there's a key to that. Yes, but there's a key to that. Do something that you love, but then don't come back and blame or don't feel guilty about it.
Oh, right.
Like let's say you want to eat a cookie and then you're going, oh, but my weight, and oh, I shouldn't have ate that cookie. No. That's not loving yourself. That's just giving permission for you to beat up yourself again. So that's not going to work. You got to do something that really you're going to love yourself at and not have any guilt surrounding it.
That's right. That's right. I think everything in moderation. That's my motto.
Balance. It's all about the yin and the yang. It's all about balancing out the female and masculine energies. I mean, life is about balance. Yeah. And that's why if our life is out of balance, if we're too masculine, if we're too logical thinking, if we're too feminine thinking, where we're clearly going off of emotions, well, we're never going to get to where we want to go. We have to come to that balance of that wise self.
That's right. Well, awesome. More insights. Now I feel like we could talk for another hour.
I know. We probably could. I know. We could keep going.
We'll have to maybe we'll do another one for the second half of the year. And
yeah, we could.
And then we can expand on this some more.
It really is such an important topic. I mean, there's so much to it that you really, I'm going to have a class on it, just because there needs to be more taught about it.
Yeah,
it's crucial to life.
Mm-hmm. It's really a route to success, however you define it. In every area of your life, it's super important to love yourself. So
it is, and it's a root of all happiness.
So good that people have you to come to for that.
Yes, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. So, and everything that I teach is all things that I've lived through. So that's what makes me so passionate about it.
Yeah, because you can relate. You can relate where people are coming from. It's not like you're teaching something you have no background in at all. And then people are like, well, how do you know?
Exactly. The best teachers are those, and the best coaches and mentors, those are the ones that have experienced life. It's not what they've read in a textbook. It's what they felt in their heart.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So
that's very true. So everybody can sign up for Julie's offer and contact her if you log back in to the Passion Base and just hit the little quick link down there for Julie, and it'll take you right down. And she'll also be on the feature page for the 2 weeks that she's being featured. So all the little buttons will be there for her gift and how to contact her, and an MP3 of this and the video. And we're going to hope that it all works out, because I'm going to be patching this together for the first time. I'm doing like video editing.
It's going to be exactly what it's meant to be. And that's what breaks a character. We bring character to this.
That's right.
Only Cherrise and I.
Oh my gosh. Something else. Watch. Next time will be totally smooth sailing and perfect internet connections, and maybe we can do it in person instead.
That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be.
That would be fun. So.
Okay, well, www.cheriseboucher.com/thepassionbase is where you find all these goodies, and from all the other speakers and for all the future speakers that'll come for the rest of 2015. And thank you so much, Julie, for all your patience and everything else with this trying interview, but very successful.
Thank you, Cherrise, for your patience and for your beautiful spirit through it all as well.
We did it!
I've enjoyed it. Yay!
We'll have to get on another hangout and have virtual cheers together.
Oh, we will. Totally. We'll get our wine out.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching this series, and excuse us for being goofy on this one. I promise another one, maybe less goofy.
Oh,
I
cool.
don't know. I doubt it. Yeah. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Don't go anywhere because I'll say goodbye to you.